Hello and welcome to the level playthrough of Asylum184. I'm here to talk you through the third level of our game, which takes place in several of the Asylum's interior spaces as well as the graveyard outside. After exiting the ICT servicing area of the previous level, the player begins by walking up the stairs to a set of double doors. Whether they're locked or not is indicated by a key card reader that is located to the side of each door. Green indicates the door is unlocked, red indicates a locked door. The first room is designed to be a playroom with tennis table and pool available for the patients to enjoy when they're not in the confinements of their cells. At the far right hand side of this room is a double-doored storage room where the player will find the first patient file for this level. As soon as the file is picked up, the audio will play and the file is also accessible in the pause menu.
Patient number 02660, Michael Fletcher, incarcerated. Michael was admitted to the asylum at a young age of 20, all due to his troubled upbringing. His father, to spend more time with him, used to include him on the butchering of animals. Making it a fun activity for him caused him to grow up with a warped opinion on the job, loving the butchering more than the overall business outcome. He was placed in charge of the killing floor at
We
age
have managed
18,
to achieve
cope
a
with
relatively
foot-and-mouth
open-ended
crisis
level
2 years
while
later.
still funneling the
Reaching
player
out to
through
him,
the key
his father
sections
was
of the level
unfortunately on the bitter end
by
of a
using
blind
barriers of
outburst.
furnishings usually found in the asylum, as well as locked doors.
Overpowered him, and after a trial he was admitted to the asylum. He has so far had 7 outbursts from staff members, but has recently subsided after becoming fond of a one-armed doll. We think he talks to it.
Here is our first enemy encounter. The nurse herself is psychotic and is trying to hand out medicine to non-existent patients. She is alerted to the player's presence by sound and vision. While she runs from you, we will further explore this day room. We created windows so you weren't just confined to the walls of the asylum. Within this open room is the location of the second patient file, which again plays as soon as it is picked up.
Samantha Riley, 011204.
Here, you can see the patient file appearing in the menu once it has been picked up.
Incarcerated. Samantha was our youngest female patient back when she was admitted in 1996. The years leading up to the admittance, Sam spent training to be an officer in the army. She was on her first reconnaissance mission when the helicopter pilot crashed due to an unforeseen sandstorm. Raging for 3 days, no rescue team.
With your path to the nurse blocked, you need to find another way around.
When the rescue team finally got to her, they were shocked to see that she had survived, but also that she had eaten parts of the recently deceased pilot to survive. That's why she was admitted here. Keeping to herself
within this room,
weeks,
the furniture randomly shifts as the player progresses.
An uproar in the cafeteria caused by a patient. We found her kneeling down in the storage room eating our meat supply, all of it raw.
At the end of this corridor, you come across 2 doors. The one on your left takes you further into the asylum. The door on the right is a washroom. Let's take a look in here to see what happens. The door locks behind you, and with nowhere to go, the room slowly fills up with blood, designed to make the player further question what is really going on inside Adam's head. With the doors now open, it's time to move on. Here, you find another one of the patient's rooms for less severe patients within the asylum. Through this open door is a room designed for staff of the asylum to take breaks whilst on their shifts. And here is a storage room. These are the doors that closed on you as you approached them. You can see the panoramic window which looks over the graveyard. This gives the player a sign of things to come. Open rooms give the player slightly more freedom to explore the asylum. You are now confronted by the list that ran away from you previously. As you attack her, notice that the rage and fear meter increases as you take her damage. Once she is dead, it's time to find a way out. As you approach the fire exit, you notice that your path has been blocked by a gurney. This is a part of the asylum that houses the more dangerous patients within their own cells. The player's heart starts racing as the world around him warps and cells begin to open on their own accord. The player is enticed into these rooms with the promise of a patient file. Once the player walks into the room, they're then logged in. With the ceiling coming down upon them, there is no escape. As the lights come back on, the player is free to leave the cell. Their path to the outside is now clear. As the player progresses, they hear the sound of an upcoming enemy. With their path blocked, they only have one way to go. The player has the option to go through the Chinook, but this isn't vital for level progression. Here is the second enemy encounter of the level, a warped idea inside Adam's head. Again, notice the rage and fear meter increase as the player tackles the crawler.
Sean Truman, 01027.
Here is the location for the fourth patient file. Picking up the fourth patient file triggers a second enemy crawler.
He was a social recluse all his life until his father pushed his lips too far. Sean burned down his stepmother's florist. Being one of the key board members at the asylum, his father managed to get him admitted instead of pressing charges. Sean kept to himself a fair amount, but constant therapy means constant
We added the fog to
interaction.
this level to increase the intensity of the environment that Adam is surrounded by whilst outside of the asylum.
And with guard supervision, we allowed him to attend his father's funeral. He reached out to his stepmother, apologizing for the florist arson. This was enough for us to realize he had been rehabilitated. Spending years here though and becoming too used to the asylum, he wouldn't leave. To accommodate his Stockholm syndrome, we put a recommendation for a position as the asylum groundskeeper, which he gladly accepted.
Here, you can see the boss of the level, the groundskeeper as seen from the mind of Adam. The groundskeeper is designed to be a harder enemy to attack than the previous ones, and as such the player may die. We have implemented a save point just before entering the graveyard to save the player walking too far to get back to where they were. As soon as the player has killed the groundskeeper, the gates to leave the cemetery open, directing the player towards the end of the level. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen.